Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Fantasy Forecast for Friday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2016. No fooling on today's slates, obviously. We want to win, no question, so we're going to go right on into optimals. I don't really review the results so much anymore with you guys because I do so many of them, but if you guys chose my optimal yesterday, it most certainly cashed. From what I was hearing, it even won GPPs. It did quite well. It was in the 300s and change for sure. I don't predict that every night, guys. I just do my research and try to give you the best plays and matchups that are out there, especially with this late in the season crap that's going on, and who's going to get minutes always seems to matter to me. All right, so we'll start out here with the Roto Grinders optimal lineup. Today they do have one ready for us, and I'll go ahead and just start reading them off. At the point guard, we have Wall and Lowry today. And Wall and Lowry is I'm okay with that choice. I don't have an issue with it. All right, moving on to shot guard, we have Beal and Hood. Let me go with the projections. Sorry. Wall, they projected at 45.5. Lowry, they projected at 41. Beal, they're projecting at 29. Hood, they're projecting at 25. You have small forward, Batum and Covington. Batum projected at 38. Covington projected at 34. At power forward, you've got Derek Williams at 25.5 and Teletovic at 24.8. And for center, you have Drummond coming in at 39. For a total of 302 on their projection. And that is Roto Grinders. Okay, let's move on from Roto Grinders onto Rotowire. You guys might have noticed I've moved it so that you can't really see the account name and such anymore. There's a reason for that, but it doesn't matter. Moving on. Okay, for Rotowire, we have Ish Smith and Reggie Jackson in the point guard positions. We have Klay Thompson and we have Affalo in the shot guard positions. Let me go through projections, sorry. Ish Smith, they're projecting at 32.5. Reggie Jackson at 30.5. Klay at 32. Aaron Affalo at 21.5. Carmelo and Winslow in the small forward position. Carmelo projected at 41. Winslow projected at 22. At power forward, we have Green and Favors. Green is projected at 38. Favors is projected at 32. Remember, that's still a game time decision, guys, and it does look like he is going to play today, but you're going to watch it. I don't know. I would still call it 50-50. I haven't gotten any firm news one way or the other, and normally by now I have a pretty good sense on direction on where they're going, and I don't. So watch it carefully, guys. Just pull it, obviously, if you're worried and you're not going to get news before lock. There's always places to get points. Don't take the risk. And for center, they have Brook Lopez, and they're projecting him at, Bolo is at 34.5, for a total projected score of 284, and that's from Rotowire. Okay, let's go to RotoQL. And RotoQL is projecting this at 327. And they have J.J. Barea and Payton in the point guard. They have Matthews and Thompson in the shot guard. Barea projecting at 32. Payton projecting at 34.7. Wesley Matthews projecting at 30. Klay projecting at 39. They have King James projecting at 52. P.J. Tucker projecting at 28. At power forward, you have Millsap and Henson. Millsap projecting at 41. Henson projecting at 25. And at center, you have Whiteside, and he's projecting all the way up at 44. And they're running this out at 327 for a projection. All right, and that's RotoQL. All right, so moving on. We are now looking at Daily Fantasy Cafe. This is projected at 299. We have Smith and Thomas at the point guard. Smith projected at 35. Thomas projected at 38. Beal and Levine at the shot guard. Beal projected at 27.5. Levine projected at 29.6, almost 30. Hayward and James at small forward. Hayward projecting at 33. King James projecting at 44.5. Henson and Green at power forward. Henson projecting at 24.5. Draymond projecting at 41. And Koufos for the center, and he's projecting at 25.5. And again, that was finally projected at 299. And our final optimal for today, this is daily or fantasy pros. I'm going towards them at the end because weird ones, and you guys have noticed that before if you've been watching my videos. At point guard, we have Lowry and Ish Smith. Lowry projecting at 39, Ish projecting at 34. You got Afflo and Stevenson at the shot guard. Stevenson still hasn't dropped enough for me to want him, even with how bad Memphis is. Afflo is at 20.7 on projection. Stevenson's projecting at 28.3. Small forward, we have Gay and James. Gay is projecting at 30, and obviously they're taking advantage of the news that Cousins is out, but even with Cousins out, the sample sizes are getting bigger, and Gay isn't picking up the performance that we would really expect from him. He scares me a little. I wouldn't be surprised if people took him, but I'm staying off him now. I've been burned enough in these similar situations. King James, there just isn't much places to spend the salary, and he's going to give you your floor. So they're projecting at 44.5. At power forward, we have Love and Millsap. They're projecting Love at 33, and they're projecting Millsap at 37. And at center, they have Koufos again, and they're projecting him at 25. And this whole lineup comes out to 290. Okay, and on to my optimal cash lineup, along with my recommendations for those picks. Today's optimal cash lineup is Wall and Larkin in the point guard. You have Wall because the Wizards are still somewhat in the playoff hunt. Just a touch. And they are still fighting. They're still running his minutes out there. And he's playing Phoenix. So you guys tell me. That's probably a very nice little lineup matchup. I expect him to give you your 50 tonight. And on a tough night when you're trying to find the studs that will hit the value, I want that 50. So I'm taking it. Larkin hasn't come up in price yet compared to the production we were talking about before. I mean, the other guys in the position, the J.J. Bareas and everything, they pushed above 5, and yeah, people are noticing them, and yeah, they are going to get minute run, but I want to get that minute run under 4,000. I'm still looking for the value that hasn't been adjusted yet, and Larkin is it for me right now. Okay, moving on to shot guard. I was able to spend up all the way here, and I was able to get Depot. Depot just coming back off his first game back, put up 43 fantasy points, and this time he gets to play the Bucks. I love it. Teams that going nowhere really, but honestly, he's got nothing other to do than show off his skills and prepare for a new contract coming up. So if they're going to give him the minute run, man, the guy can give you 50 tonight out of nowhere, and no one's going to expect it. And I like that. Klay Thompson, you have choices. He's been dropping 40 a night, but then he had a couple stinkers in a row, and the last couple, where it was only 25 fantasy points apiece. Thing is, Boston likes to run a little bit faster along with Golden State. They are a more decent team. They're not Phoenix. They're not the Lakers or anything. You would expect this game to stay somewhat closer, somewhat high scoring, and Klay to be forced to put in his points this time and do the kind of thing he normally does. If you look at his game log, and this is more of a history thing, you'll notice when he has a couple bad games here, 24.5, 26, he picks it up again, 40, 50, 42. And then right again, we got a 24 and a 24 with similar minute run. I kind of think we're in line for a 40, 50, 44, a good one tonight against. And he did those against okay teams. Look, Dallas, Philly, Clippers. Clippers run kind of fast. Dallas was running kind of fast and still trying to keep in. Philly was really the only bad one really in there. Dallas was the one he scored against. So he loves going against Dallas. The opponent worries me a little. This would be the pick where you can move around a little if you want. I just think he's in line to give you 40 fantasy points tonight. I just do. I have a feeling they'd rather sit Curry and let Klay keep running. And that's just me guessing. It gets really hard towards the end of the season here, guys, and you already know that. You've seen the minute runs on guys from the bench jump up. You're seeing minute runs on your studs drop, and people are trying to protect them for playoffs. So it all changes around, and you have to build this all into your thinking. All right, at small forward, we have James and Hayward. King James is in a just fine, primed spot tonight. Hell, even if he did sit a few quarters and they end up by a lot, he'll have given you 45, 50 fantasy points by the end, and he's your most solid, safe choice on a shitty small forward slate. So just run it. Same with Hayward. I'll take him against the Timberwolves all day long right there. I like the spot, The Bucks to the T-Wolves, certain teams where you get a decent small forward, and he'll have opportunity to run. Now, Len, if he gets the minute run we've been expecting against the Wizards, man, that should be great. And just run Len with Wall and back, and back and forth, back and forth. You could even try to find a way to stack a couple other people in this lineup if you'd want. Think about moving out Klay and Depot at that shot guard where I just moved up, and see if there's another way to really stack the game up. You could do that. My locks in this lineup for sure are Williams, Kofos at the bottom, though. No question. So whatever you do, however you modify these things around, don't modify on that. Len, yeah, you can modify. I think he's going to have a great game against Washington, and if you think the minute run is real, he's going to put up 40 points again, and that's great at 6,500. But Derek Williams, with Deron Williams sitting again, likely his price hasn't caught up to what his performance is going to be at basically bare minimum salary. I will run all over it. And the same with Kofos with Cousins out again tonight. Basically for $7,500, I'm getting two players that are going to probably knock me out 50 points in fantasy scoring and open the entire rest of my lineup up. Makes sense, right, guys? Okay, that's about it for Fantasy Forecast for today. Those were your optimal lineups. I would show you results from yesterday, but we have switched onto a brand new account. It's all basically going to be free except for, a paid one here and there, but the paid one would be just one safety bet on just a cash bet, and that's it. And so since this is a new account, there's no real results to show yet until I show them from later. I can even show you my recent settled entries, and there is one thing in it. Since it's brand new. Okay, it pulled a 310 last night and it won $45. It's an okay lineup. It was Westbrook Larkin. It wasn't the exact one that I gave you guys. The exact one that I gave you guys pulled up even better. I think it pulled up into like the 340s or something like that, which I'm happy for you guys for. But this was a rookie league, so I wanted to take it a little easy on these guys. All right. So yes, yesterday was a winner. Today, you've seen all the upcomings. I'll show them again real fast so you can see on the side right there, just if you want to pause. And then my optimal recommended cash lineup for today. Point guard, Wall and Larkin. Shot guard, Depot and Thompson. Small forward, James and Hayward. Power forward, Len and Williams. Center, Kofos. All right, guys. I hope you guys had an excellent week so far. I hope you have a wonderful weekend planned. Go on out there and go win some money. Oh, and don't forget, hit me up on Twitter if you want to talk to me, direct message or by tweet at MikeMiller78. And don't forget to subscribe so you get notices on when these new videos come out. All right, now go out there and go win some money.